Good evening. Welcome to the DBS Sports. I am Kenson Casimir. The Northern Long Distance Walking Group will be hosting their annual Independence Walk around the island yet again every year around this time. St. Lucia's most avid walkers make the 88-mile trek around the beautiful island of St. Lucia. We caught up with Mr. John Michel, who is the events coordinator, who spoke to the proposed route for this year.
We intend as long as this is on to start at the Marcy supermarket in Cul-de-sac. They have been very cooperative, have been with us from inception, so we almost believe we owe them that sort of advertisement. So we will always start there. This year, the independence activities would be at the VG Sports Complex, so that's our ending point. We start the walk at 6 o'clock. The whistle will be blown at 6 and we move no later than that. We are asking persons, however, to be at the parking lot by 4:35 to go through or to listen to the different hints that would be given to them, little warm up and get themselves ready to move at 6. So the appeal is, let's begin to assemble at the car park in Cul-de-sac on about 4:35 so we can have a start on time at 6.
Well, organizers are asking participants to assemble at the Marcy Cul-de-sac from 5 a.m. to leave at 6 promptly. Mr. Michel is hoping that, as in times past, persons will come out to support this event. He spoke to what goes in the preparation of this activity.
Well, basically, it hasn't changed from what it has been over the last 5-6 years. Everything remains the same. We hope the crowd would be, as it has been in the past, an average 100 starting. We don't anticipate any great change.
All right, so tell us about the walk in itself, because we know that there are different things that persons need to be aware of when they come into a walk of this magnitude. Tell us some of the material they might need and some of what they can expect joining this walk.
I've said so many times that one would have thought that you could have replayed the tape of 6 years ago. Okay, we ask persons to begin with, before they leave their homes, to make sure they properly greased every nook and cranny to avoid the type of friction there will be with such a long walk. Do walk with 2 pairs of shoes at a minimum, change of clothing, and that is the entire clothing. Socks, walk with painkillers that the body is accustomed with. In fact, painkillers that they know the body will not resist.
Well, one go is certainly a tough ask. We spoke to Afa Neptune, who is a member of the group, about what is needed for a successful completion of this walk.
First of all, you have to have the proper clothing. For a walk with a distance like that, you have to ensure that the clothes that you are wearing is suitable, one, for the heat, and secondly, that it's not too abrasive, because improper clothing can actually cut your body over a period of time when you're walking. One of the things, although we'll be providing proper liquids such as water, I think that it might be necessary for individuals to walk with their own water supply, because you would appreciate that the water supply truck would be moving along the distance of the walkers, and sometimes people get a little bit. In fact, you should never allow yourself to feel thirsty before you hydrate. So, it's always wise to walk with your own water supply. Not to the point where it's too heavy and you can't move. A small bottle of water, something that you can sip as you go along, is necessary.
Well, the Independence Walk around the island gets underway on Wednesday, February 21st, 2018. Now, after an evening of exciting football on the field and lots of entertainment off the field, Veterans in Sports Inc. will be hosting the grand final of the Caribbean Alliance Gold Cup this coming Saturday. Action will kick off at 6 p.m. at the Philip Master Grounds. In the third place playoff, home team Central Viewfort will do battle against the Valley Legends. Both teams looking to cop off a great season with at least a third place finish. At 8 p.m. it's on. Former champions of Soufriere featuring Jerome Barboy Seville with the battle against Francis Babalastic and the Grosley veterans. Grosley has been considered an underdog in most of the knockout stage matches, while Soufriere had a dreaded penalty shootout in the quarterfinal to make it through. So, the question is, who will be the 2017-2018 Caribbean Alliance Veterans Football Champions? The DJ Dunga Markeson Cup competition continued last weekend with the return legs of the first round of matches to determine the semi-finalists. In the first match scheduled for Saturday, Rovers United followed their first leg win by defeating Young Strikers 3-0 to advance to the semi-finals with an 8-goal aggregate win. Goal scorers for Rovers United were Diaz David in the 20th minute, Gail Emmanuel in the 46th minute, and Colonel Polius in the 55th minute. In the second encounter, El Niños FC could not repeat their brilliant first leg performance against Monarch Sports Club as the match ended in a team goalless draw. However, by virtue of the first leg victory of 5-1, El Niños FC booked their spot in the semi-final. So, on Sunday, in the first encounter, defending champions of Peter Travel Young Stars, they were tested by a determined Olia United team, which came from behind to secure a 2-1 victory. However, Peter Travel Young Stars would advance to the semi-finals by virtue of an aggregate scoreline of 3-2, having won the first leg 2-0. The goal scorers for Peter Travel Young Stars was the goal scorer Jamie Prosper in the 74th minute. The goal scorers for Olia United were Kendall Theodore in the 85th minute and Akim Gittens in injury time. In the second match of the evening, DCYO defeated Uprising United FC 1-0 to advance to the semi-finals on an aggregate score of 2-0. The goal scorer for DCYO was Barry Mackey from the penalty spot in the 84th minute. Well, the semi-finals will see DCYO from the Dennery Football League taking on Rovers United from the Mabia Valley Football League, while Peter Travel Youngsters from the Dennery Football League, they come up against El Niños FC from the Deriso Football League. Should be interesting. The Choiseul Cooperative Credit Union 40-over cricket competition came down to the business end this weekend at the Lafargue playing field. In Saturday's game, Monsieur Clayport Renegades defeated Carfair Dark Panthers by 200 runs. Batting first, Monsieur amassed 244 all out in 27.4 overs. Sanjay Pamphil hit 87 of 36 balls, with Dwight Peters scoring 47 of 25 deliveries. In response, Ron Lesmore top scored with 26 of 16 balls. Bowling for the Renegades, Elijah Leon, he took a 5 for 11, and Quint Mismin 5 for 32. Carfair, who bowled out for 44 in 9 overs. Monsieur thus booked a semi-final spot. In the Sunday match, Balka took on Rising Stars. Balka, languishing at the bottom of the table with 2 points, needed to win and collect 2 bonus points in this matchup. Anchored by 70 from Jason Simon, Balka got to 203 for 9. Movie Williams took a 3 for 27 to retain his place as the competition's leading wicket taker. In response, the Stars were bowled out for just 101 of 24.2 overs. Gavin Series scored 44. In the final round of matches, Ebony take on Monsieur with the final standings to play for, whilst on Sunday, Carfair featured a must-win game in order to take the fourth semi-final spot against an already qualified Kells Mongoose. Well, we take a break, but when we get back, Kimani Melius honored by his school. Welcome back. West Indies under-19 batsman and Barbados native Kimani Melius returned to school after his stint at the World Cup. Principal, teachers and the students welcomed the local hero back to the school. Alice Maida is a teacher at the school.
Today was Kimani's first day back at school after his tour. And we wanted to celebrate with him. We wanted to welcome him back in a special way. So we had a big celebration this morning. As you could see, we have our balloons up, our congratulations signs up, and the students all assembled right here in the car park. We had music, drums, and we sang, we recited poetry, we danced with him. We just wanted him to feel special and to remind him that we are proud of him. We have always been proud of him and will always be proud of him. Kimani from Form 1. He has always made us proud, and we have always supported him from the very beginning. And we'll continue to do so even after he graduates this year. Our principal always reminds the students of the day that Kimani is batting, and we always talk about him, the morning assemblies, the devotions, all of them about Kimani after his batting, especially after he scored 78 runs. So the students, we have been preparing for this day. They have been anticipating him back and anticipating such celebration with him, such excitement. So today, nobody complained about the sun. Everybody was happy to be here. The boys, they had their drums, they had even the conch for them to blow, and everybody was really, really happy and willing to be here this morning to celebrate with Kimani. I don't think there is one sad child in the school today.
Well, Melius had an impressive introduction to the world stage. Principal of the school, Lawrence Fenelon, was awestruck with his performance. He spoke to the impact this would have on other students.
Today we were celebrating the return of our champion, Kimani Melius, who made it to the West Indies Under-19 team, represented us at the Under-19 World Cup in New Zealand. He performed creditably. He announced himself to the international scene. So we are extremely proud of that. So we decided that we had to welcome our hero. And so the teachers put together a small program, Miss Maida and company, to celebrate the return of our champions. So that was what the hype was about, to celebrate and to inspire the rest of the students to achieve.
DBS Sports met up with the young star. Melius spoke to how appreciative he was about the day's proceedings. He described what he felt upon his return.
It was a surprise, but I already knew what it was going to do for me, so I really appreciate it, and the joy and emotion. It was joyful and emotional. Nothing really was going through my mind at the time. I was just nervous and just focused on doing well for the team and for myself most of all. Especially if they take part in sports and what they want to do in future life and endeavor, I would just like to tell them, just continue working hard. If things don't work out the first time, there's always a second time and a third time. Just continue working. I'm looking forward to the senior tournament. I just want to do well in the senior tournament so I could make the Windward Island senior team at an early age. I was looking to score 100, but I scored 78 trying to push on for my team. So once it's for my team, I'm happy with it.
Kimani Melius had a top score of 78 in the 2018 ICC Cricket World Cup. The selection panel of Cricket West Indies announced the Windies A-team squad for the 3-match test series against England Lions in the Caribbean. The 4-day matches will run from February 11th to March 1st and will feature a test using the pink ball. This will be the final match under lights at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground in Antigua. The West Indies A-team will be led by left-handed opening batsman Kieran Powell, with Shamar Brooks as the vice-captain. Following the test, West Indies A will face England Lions in the 3 50-over matches at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds in Antigua. Well, the squad for the test include Kieran Powell as captain, Shamar Brooks as vice-captain, Jermaine Blackwood, John Campbell, Rakim Cornwall, the big guy, Miguel Cummins, Shane Darridge, Jamal Hamilton, Keon Joseph, Jeremiah Lewis, Raymond Reefer, Vishal Singh, and Jamel Warrican. Still in cricket, Evan Lewis scored a century and Sunil Narine a hat-trick as the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force scored a 4-wicket win over the Windward Island Volcanoes in the CWI Super 50 at Kensington Oval on Monday. In this matchup, the Volcanoes lost the toss and were sent to bat. Devon Smith top scored with 68 as the Windwards were bowled out for 222. Narine finished with figures of 4 for 25 from his 10 overs. In response, Larry Edward ended with figures of 4 for 38 as the Red Force got to their desired total. He accounted for the wickets of Lewis, Django, Nicholas Paran, and Dinesh Ramdin. By then, the battle had already been lost. Well, in track and field, 8 nations will compete in the inaugural Athletics World Cup at London's Olympic Stadium on July 14th to 15th. The competition, featuring all track and field events up to and including the 1500 meters, will be between the United States, Britain, Poland, China, Germany, France, Jamaica, and South Africa. One man and one woman will compete for each nation in each event. The winning nation receives a cool $2 million. British Athletics announced the event on Monday. IAAF President Sebastian Coe said it was one of the exciting and innovative events we are seeing in our sport. Well, finally, Watford scored 3 late goals to defeat Chelsea and open up the race for the final spot in the Champions League.
Here he goes. In it goes. Deeney delivers. 10-man. A special moment from a special player for Antonio Conte. But Hazard has come, well, maybe to the rescue. Gets it back again. He's waltzed through. It's a wonderful goal by Daryl Janmaat, the architect and the scorer. It's got Antonio Conte rocked back again. And Chelsea were looking for the win, and now looking down the barrel of defeat again. Used Deeney as a decoy, and that is the perfect ending from the player of the night. Here with Pereira, they have done. Well, we said it would be some finale, but I don't think any of us...
Well, Chelsea are now 1 point ahead of Tottenham for 4th place. Sad. Chelsea to the world. Shout out to Donovan working at the credit union on this one. Shout out to Francis Babalastic, Jacques Rosalie supporting the Lapo team. Shout out to my cousin Miguel Gasper. Shout out to G-Dog and Easy from Viewfort. Shout out to Steve from DBS. My condolences, guys. The DBS News continues after the break.